Welcome back to the Do Show. My guest for today is an artist, composer, band leader, music director. He just released a new album with his band Controlled Chaos called Let Love back in July of 2020. Make some noise wherever you are located for my man Jonathan FOOTZ. LIVAS.
What's up, man?
Woo! What's up?
I got that. It took me it took me 3-4 times, but I got it.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
That's definitely how I want to start your show off, man. I wouldn't have this. Definitely grateful for the opportunity to speak to my mentee today.
Yes, sir. Man, it's been a while, for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've grown up, dude. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of everything you're doing. I know that God has a whole lot to do for your life, so I'm excited to sit back and watch and see what happens. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, my dog. Thank you. Much love to you. I do want to actually ask you, how's your quarantine been?
I will say for me, quarantine affected a lot of people in many ways, but quarantine was probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I was blessed to be home and get a lot more rest. Therefore, my immune system built up. I was also afforded the opportunity to create on a different level because that was all we had to, everything was shut down. It was closed. We couldn't go anywhere, not even church. Like, we weren't going anywhere. And so it was like, I got to create in a way that I've never been able to in a long time. Maybe since I was living in LA. But but that was so needed, and I'm still able to do that now. In the meanwhile, as far as the band, God has blessed us. Like you said, we released the project back in July, which was like the peak of, quarantine and, so much other stuff going on with systematic racism and police brutality and all this stuff. And through all of that going on, we were still able to release the project and still do some shows. Like, even now, we just rocked at a DC9, did a live stream show. And so, we're like trailblazers. We're getting a chance to be a part of the evolution of something new that's taking place now because the world is in a new place. So I'll say, to sum this up, quarantine has been the greatest thing ever for me.
I can agree. That's why I started this show, because of quarantine.
Yeah, man. Everybody got to tap into their full abilities. And I feel like, I ain't trying to be spiritual, but, God did that on purpose. So that we all could tap into our full potential. There was a lot of things that, we've been praying about, and there's been a lot of things that God himself wants us to have, but we would have never done it had the world continued to move the way it was in 2019. We were becoming more selfish. We were moving too fast. Everyone was sick all the time. Everyone was tired and just worn out. And so when this quarantine happened, yes, people were getting extremely ill, and coronavirus is bad and it's hitting people in different kind of ways. And, it definitely hit my family close to home. A few friends of my family, some of them passed away from it and things of that nature. So I'm not taking away from coronavirus and the situation that's going on. The world is in a tumultuous state right now. Horrible. But at the same time, just got a moment to stop and think. And really look at what's going on around you, what's going on with yourself, and how you got a chance to innovate and be better. Now look at it. You got a show, bro.
All God.
All God, man.
And with that being said, back in January of 2020, you were at the First Baptist Church of Glen Arden in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, playing drums behind Anthony Brown, Richard Smallwood, and Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I know I was sick, so it really meant a lot to see you, you know, just in that big cage. You know, I know it's hot. You got a little fan. I saw that, so I was like, he must be okay. And he got his red DW drums and everything else was just great. I was just like, okay, now Jonathan. So I was like,
thank you, dude.
I was like, when I saw you, I was like, he's playing Blessings on Blessings, because that's my joint right there. I love that song. And I remember when I first went to the First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, it was back in 2015, and I was there to see Anita Wilson and Richard Smallwood and Vision.
Wow.
I saw that.
And Vision.
Yes. And it was an amazing...
Richard, that's my guy, man. That is a huge hero of mine. And so,
yeah.
It's still unreal to me that night even happened.
I couldn't even like believe. I was like, you know what? I know this guy. Like when you left the church you were playing at, I was just so happy because I knew there was going to be great things in store for real. Though I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want anybody to feel like, oh, he didn't like him. I was like, no, like for real, dog. I knew in the bottom of my heart, I was like, there's something he's going to do that's going to even be greater than what he did before. And even now, what you're doing now is not even compared to what you're going to be doing in the next few years. Not couple, not in the year top. I'm talking about it's going to come like that. It's going to come quick. I'm not preaching. I'm not preaching. I'm not no prophet. I'm just speaking my heart, because it's something that I don't always see in a lot of people, but it really shows on you, even if you don't see it, because the one person that can't see themselves is you. You can't see how you act. You can't see how you play. You can't see how good vibes. You give off good vibes, and sometimes you don't know how much of an impact you're making on just people in general. And I'm just like, Jonathan, I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness, bro. Like, for real, dog, you are an incredible person. You're not perfect. I'm not saying you're perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you are seriously you're just more than an inspiration. You're more, like, I just got to give you that credit, because I don't get to talk to you all the time. I'm just saying, I love you, bro, for real.
I love you too, man. Dude, don't make me start crying. Don't do that, dude. Nah. You said you told me to be cool, man. I'm trying to be cool, and you over here.
Look. This whole show.
Out, man.
This whole show is about stay cool and live life. Okay, I want you to stay cool and live your life.
I got the hat on and everything. Pop my collar and snap myself back out or something, man.
But man.
Wow, man. Wow, man. That means a lot to me, man. I'm glad, you are absolutely right. I don't see myself, and I don't do it for self-gratification or self things. I just do what I had wished some other people had done for me, but also had done what others did do for me. And it's kind of like parents. Parents raise you to be better than them, and so I wanted to do it better than what they did. And so that's a blessing to know that the goal that I had set in my heart to do for people is actually taking effect, and I don't even know it's happening. So, all glory to God, man. And thank you. I receive every word that said. Thanks, bro. Love you, man. I'm so proud of you.
Love you too. Thank you. Much love to you, dog. I really want to talk about.
Proud of you, man.
I really want to talk about how did you get the call? How did you book? Playing for these artists. I know you play for Greater Mount Calvary, but I just want to know what was it like just being in First Baptist Church of Glen Arden playing for that night?
Well, to answer your first question, Greater Mount Calvary, I guess the only way to make sense out of your question is to tell you the whole story, So,
take all the time you need. Take all the time you need.
So Yeah, I was actually playing at Andrew Best Church down the street after I left New Life. And I was, it was that little house, and I was playing there. And the musical director there came to me and said, "Hey, Greater Mount Calvary needs a drummer." Funny story, the whole world knows who Calvary except for this guy right here. I had no clue who Greater Mount Calvary was. I was like, "Greater Mount who?" And so he was like, "Yeah, they need a drummer, man." And so I was like, cool. And so a guy by the name of Jeff Adams, who is my musical director, my friend now, he's like an uncle to me. Huge impact in my life. He gives me a call, and you know, got this little rusty voice. "Yeah, man, you know, we need a drummer, man, and you know, you come highly recommended, so we figured we give you a call." I said, "Oh man, thank you." About, I want to say 3 weeks later, I had my first meeting, my first quote unquote audition at the church, and I met with Elder Young. And long story short, they liked me, and I liked the church myself. I did my little trial service on Easter, and that went really well. And then shortly after that, I was actually brought on as a drummer. So basically, I got picked up. Bless God. And basically through Greater Mount Calvary, I ended up playing with First Baptist of Glenarden, because First Baptist of Glenarden and Calvary, they're like this. They're like cousin churches, you know. So Bishop Owens and Pastor Jenkins, they support each other in pretty much everything. As well as I think they're with under Jakes as well. So, you know, that's basically how that happened, through that connection of that. But you know, yeah, I've been blessed to play with many guys, man, through Calvary. Kurt Carr, Todd Galbert. I just played with Todd Riddick actually last Sunday. And I feel like I'm missing people. The Hamiltons, they're not even a gospel group. They're Anthony Hamilton. I played for Richard now and Anthony Brown. And so really, yeah, through Greater Mount Calvary and through Jeff, I want to give a huge shout out to him, Jeff, and want to give a shout out to my bishop, Bishop Alfred A. Owen and Popak Juicy, and shout out to Greater Mount Calvary. But yeah, that's pretty much how that happened. And so yeah, it was a revival, and we showed up, and the Richard Smallwood thing was a surprise, because Richard Smallwood is like, he's on my Mount Rushmore of just composers, songwriters, musicians. The idea, ever since I was a baby, dude, I've had big sounds in my head and just always wanted big orchestras and things of that nature, but it's not end result of what y'all see with Controlled Chaos. And so like I want to put 100, I want to have 100 symphony one day. I probably will in Jesus' name, but with the baddest rhythm section and horn section I could find. But you know, anyway, like, I'm digressing.
If you want it, you can have it. If you need it, you can have it, because it's yours, bro. It's yours.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, and so, you know, through that, you know, Anthony Brown, it was funny. We were rehearsing, and none of the band showed up, but the horns, myself, and then Anthony Brown actually had to play keys. I don't know if people know, but Anthony Brown is a pretty exceptional keyboard player. Like, he can play. And so he ended up taking over on keys, and we're going over the songs, and I'm thinking, oh, it's just a song the choir is going to sing. And then he adds, yeah, Richard's going to do the song with us. And I mean, it was Richard's song. It was Thank You by Richard, which is a legendary song from the Adoration album, if you guys haven't heard it. Beautiful song, amazing song. A song of gratitude. But yeah, he like says, yeah, Richard's gonna do the song with us. And I was like, I tried to play it cool, like, oh, word? Like, even though my heart was beaming, dude, like, yeah. I was like, wait, you mean to tell me I'm about to play for my all time God, as far as gospel, like, because, you know, there's like Quincy Jones, there's Maurice White, there's Barry White. I'm naming all these old school cats. You're millennial.
I listen to them. I'm now listening to them because I'm forced to just, I force myself to just broaden my musicality. So all these names are amazing. Like legends. They were legends in the making. Legends in the making.
You honestly can't even move forward. And I just named a few. It's so many legends, so much rich history in our culture. You know, that if it wasn't for them, we couldn't move forward with what we're doing. And so in order for you to move forward and know where you're going, you have to know where you came from. And Richard is one of those pioneers in the gospel world who laid that foundation for what I would follow, you know. And dude, I was elated, dude. I'm not gonna sit here in front like, oh, it was nothing. And like,
no, man, no. But for real, though, I will say that I always tell people to expect the unexpected. And I want to just say this: I'm not somebody who can listen to a lot of people or get inspiration from a lot of people. I'm listening to people who guide me in the right direction. However, some of the things that, you know, I obtain, and I'm not trying to say I'm special or anything, because I'm just like you. I'm just like everybody else in this world. I just think different. Everybody's unique in their own way. And I've seen that just because you came from something, you can start with something little and end up being so big. And it shows that. That's why I'm like, of course, yes, take the limits off of God, but also expect the unexpected to happen. And
also, I want to say this: those that remain faithful over few things will be rewarded in many. I don't know if I said that correctly, but I do know that is in the Bible. Like you said, you said something that stuck out to me. Sticking with something that's small and expecting the unexpected, you know, and just being faithful and being humble, man, is how I ended up, honestly, where I'm at right now. And I still have a ways to go, but that's how I ended up in this position. Just being humble, faithful, and dependent. Definitely those three things. If you remain that way, I promise you guys, anybody aspiring to be a musician and anything outside of music, just if you remain that way anywhere you're at, it's no limits to where God can take you, I'm telling you. But for sure, I was just playing at some 50-member church in a house that now upgraded to Calvary is like 7,000 in total in terms of 7,000, maybe more than that. Yeah, but you know, went from a 50-member church, little storefront house, to Greater Mount Calvary, and playing for a lot of artists, even outside of the gospel artists, Light Show, just a lot. I actually, you know, I was the musical director for like every time he called my band. So it's a blessing for real. Shout out to Mark Datawood, my best friend, and our new musical director. He's in Monster. Front vocal, bass, keyboard, producer, arranger, you name it. But I don't know. That was a random moment.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I'm just letting people talk because I know it says THEADUSHOW, but I let people have their voice because I can talk a lot and just keep going and going. But I will say though, before I move on to the last thing, because I don't want to hold you for so long, when you said the thing about faith and having faith, that's one thing that sticks into my mind because a lot of my closest friends know that I'm all about faith. And yes, I'm all about putting the work in, but there are some things in life where and I'm still learning this, there are some things in life where you can work for and you can put all the effort, you can put everything you got, everything, and take everything you have and just work with it and then say, okay, God, here we go. Now it's in your hands. Because I did all that I can do. I don't have control over, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where my career is going to go, or my dream, or my passion, or what the foundation I want to establish. Because even for me, in the situation I'm in, I have so much faith with just the little material that I have, just the stuff that I've purchased, that I've invested in. And please, I tell people all the time, ask my parents that, you know, and I'm not fronting and I'm not saying I'm special or anything, but I'm somebody who wants to say, I did this, but God did this really. And I invested the time, I invested my own money that I worked for, and bought things just for the show, just for making records, because I actually released my own personal project. And that took 5 years, and I was so fine with it, and I was amazed by how the creative process was, and just knowing how that is, just not just being a musician, but being an artist and actually writing music. Even if for me, it's not lyrics, it's just instruments, it's just notes, it's just chords, it's just triads. It's all that just mixed in together. And I put the whole album is just basically, the album I'm talking about, it's called My Journal. I'm not trying to promote myself, but you can get that on wherever music is sold. But no, but
I don't mind it. I'm gonna go check it out myself.
Yeah, man. So that was actually 5 years in the making, and that wasn't even supposed to be an album. I was working on one song called My Wonder, which is one of my favorite songs, and it's a whole EDM album. And everybody knows I love gospel. I love, you know, I just like everything. I love the fastness. I love everything about gospel music and the melodies and the transitions. But when I was like, I'm somebody who wants to challenge myself and to go to other genres of music, because the person that I want to grow up to be is somebody who can tackle on every single genre of music that is out here. And I want to go into that uncomfortable place, and I want to see what I can create from an uncomfortable place. And EDM was an uncomfortable place, because I was like, I thought only a specific group of people listen to EDM, because it's dubstep, it's house tech, it's all this like electronic dance music. It's like, I'm not into like all this hypeness, you know. It's what you hear, you know, at parties and clubs and maybe in studio sessions. But I wasn't inspired enough to make this record until I heard about Zed, Anomaly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to do something just like that, or even something better. And out came like 16 tracks, and I mixed EDM with R&B, and it was just amazing.
Man, and you will.
Yeah. You
will. I'm speaking that over your life. You will.
Thank you. And so now I'm working on my second studio record, which is my Sessions, which I don't know when it's going to release, but the reason why I don't put a release date is because I'm like, Lord, I just want you to work through this album as much time as it takes. I was like, I want to do a 24-track album, and I want to work harder, and I want to actually put effort, and I want it actually to sound like one of the biggest artists of today, or even better than that. Like, I'm not rushing to put music out. I want to take my time, and I want to send this to people. I want to send tracks and get other people's opinions that I know who are really into music and who channel that musicality of themselves and say, oh, this is a hit. Oh, this is good. This is vibing. This is something I can just play in the car. This is something that my kids love to just jam out to. Just like I want to be like the Justin Bieber Intentions or DJ Khaled Wild Thoughts, or you know some of these songs out here, even gospel music. I just want it to be like that, because I'm somebody who works alone. I'm not somebody who always wants to work with, you know, oh, a sound engineer, they do this, I hire people to do this. No, I want to do everything. I want to tackle on every single thing I can do. I want to produce my own stuff. I want to mix my own stuff. I want to release my own stuff. I don't want to pay anybody to do anything. I just want to see how it'll all play out. So that's just something. And that's the reason why I'm doing that, is because I get inspired by people like you that I'm like, I see on social media or I just see in person, I'm like, yo, this is amazing. What they're doing, I can do that. I know I can even do better. You've even told me to do, I'm thankful that you're saying, I remember you told me this, you were like, I was saying like, congratulations on something, and you're like, thank you, but do better than me. So that's my goal, to do better than everybody else.
Hey man, that's what happens when you raise people up. You want to see them do better. You know, and that's the point of, you know, mentoring people. We try to tell them the mistakes you made, and we try to tell them the leaps and bounds of everything, so that they can, with the intent of them doing better. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And you know, some people say, "Oh, I don't want to be upstanded by my little brother or something like that." You know what I'm saying? I get all that out there, man.
Yeah.
You inspired that. You were the reason why he, you know, take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now don't take it as if someone owes you something or anything like that. But you know, take pride in the fact that you helped somebody see within themselves that they can be better.
Yeah.
You know. And so yeah, that's all I got to say about that. You know, proud of you, man. Proud of you.
Thank you. I want to say this before I let you go. Your band, Control Chaos, that we talked about, you're a part of that group, and you guys just released your first studio record, Let Love, which is available right now.
So second, if you include the Christmas.
Well, yeah, technically second.
But that was like one song, but it was just like one big song.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was like a 10-minute like type of.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah. I saw, but that was hot, bro. I'm serious. I loved it.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleeping, heaven, oh, in heavenly peace, and
Silent night. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I saw that whole arrangement. I was like,
Yeah, big ups to Mark again, man. Mark composed that with me. We spent nights on that one. And, sure enough, God got the glory on that one, because people lost it when it came out. But yeah,
if you guys haven't checked
what it is without him.
If you guys haven't checked out that Christmas medley, please go check that Christmas medley out. It is available on all streaming platforms. And please check out Let Love. I just want to ask, what was the concept and the significance behind that whole project? You know, what is it like just working with all those musicians? I've heard the story, but
the long story or the short one.
Whatever you got.
I gotta ask these things because everyone does their shows different.
If you got time on your hands, give me the long one, because I got all day.
Alright, cool. Well, the band's name is Control Chaos, and the band started in 2017. So when we came together, we immediately, you know, we were really unique, man. We wanted to hit the ground running, like, so we had meetings at my house and stuff like that. We were doing everything we could to be organized and have something to present to somebody. And so we said, well, we want to make a project, and we put it out. We wanted to be something that was true to us, but also true to the people that we were trying to target. And so, you know, of course, like that Temptations movie, you're throwing the football around on drugs. Nah, ain't none of us from that. So, money, you know, well, that's not our biggest fortune, you know. What is something pure? Love. And so Let Love was inspired by a double meaning, because Control Chaos is our name, and love is the one thing that everybody wants to control, but because they try to control it and it's not in their control, they get the most chaotic results. love makes people do crazy things. And so, yeah, that it's deep. But so we chose that because it was like for marketing reasons, but also it was true to us. We all had our little girlfriends and stuff. And for whatever reason, around that time, when we were making all of the music, we were all going through something in that area of life. And at the same, like, simultaneous time, whether it's baby mothers or girlfriends or female friends that were trying to, you know, build a genuine relationship with. There was all kinds of stuff all around the group, which tripped me out. We're a big group. At the same time, we kind of knew that was a definite project. So, long story short, we did the project, and that was the concept of it. We wanted to basically reconceptualize what love meant to us through eclectic music and lyrical lyrics. And spread the message to the world to kind of let go and let love.
I can tell, and I know my time's up right now, but I just want to say I can tell that you really love all your friends, all your musicians, everybody that is a part of Control Chaos. I can tell just from the few videos I've seen, I can tell that it's, of course, just more than a band, but it's a family, and it's just a collective of musicians that love their craft and can produce something great and something that when people say they can do something to the best of their ability, I feel like you guys do even more than to the best of your ability, and that's because, you know why I say that? Because you know how sometimes people say, "Oh, I got a record out," and you know them, and you listen to it, and it's not really that good, and you're like,
yeah.
I hate that feeling. So when I checked out Control Chaos, I was like, oh, another band. I think what changed that was, I think it was your sound. It was the way you approached music. So that's what I really value the most. I want people that I don't even know to just stick. I just want them to like find, it's like a magnet. I want my album, my songs, all of it to be a magnet for just everybody to come to and listen. And if they're having a bad day, listen to my music. If you're having a bad day, come on, listen to the THEADUSHOW. Turn on your television. Go to YouTube. Wherever this could go, I want people to tune in. I want people to listen. And that was Control Chaos. Let Love, the album, was basically that pathway for me. I was like, yo, break up. Break up. When I heard break up.
Yeah, that seems to be like the...
break up? Yo, come on.
Favorite.
Come on, man. I got the single, and then I was like, hold on, I know I got the single, but I got to buy it again on the Let Love album because it's too good. It's too good.
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Thank you, man.
Like, you know what? I know you're not going to get offended, but I like that more than any other of the other songs you guys wrote. I'm sorry.
Man,
that speaks
it's our song,
yeah,
so I ain't offended. Everybody's opinion is their opinion.
I think it's not, I mean, I know people interpret music in a different way, but the way the chords are, it kind of reminds me of something like what I would do. And I was like, man, that's something amazing. And that's something that I just can't even describe, because I know, when people put hard work, sometimes a song can become a hit and it won't take but 5 minutes. And sometimes a song that will become a hit will take 5 years. I'm just praying and hoping for the best on every song I write, compose with, and even people that I have collaborating on this project and that I'm working on, because it's always something special. And those sessions, midnight sessions, day sessions, those sessions where
oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
That was another question you asked. What was it like working with all of those musicians?
Oh yeah, I know you love them. I can have a go.
Oh my God, dude, it was very fun. Of course, like you said, a lot of midnights. Sometimes we wouldn't leave the studio depending on the session. I know the vocal session, one time I left the session, it was 5 a.m. The sun was coming up when I left. It was a lot of hard work. So huge shout out to everybody involved. Huge shout out to our engineers, John and Thomas, who also just stayed in the fire with us. They was working just as hard as we were. And everybody involved. And it's a lot of musicians. Control Chaos is a pretty big group. And so I really enjoyed the string sessions. Out of an orchestra, I think my favorite section is strings, low key. I definitely have a thing for heart. But our shout out to our string, shout out to Ellie, shout out to Mara, who Jacob actually arranged the strings for Breakup. And I believe I wrote an interlude that maybe we will release one day. But Jacob wrote the strings, and I remember hearing it, and I was just like blown away. Like, and because I knew he was getting phases, but I saw where he can go, even still, you know. And so it was like, okay, we really got something here. And the horns were flawless. When I say the horns, that was extremely fun because the horns, they were just on it. Again, Mark, dude was murdering the trombone, and he had the horns sharp. Shout out to Zeus, our sousaphone player. He was, y'all gonna hear that too, but thick in the mix. And all of them, Ray, saxophone, Bert on trumpet. And then our rhythm section, shout out to E Money, our guitarist. He was a one-take wonder the whole time. Literally, he did not have to re-record anything. And so, and just overall, even outside of just being around musicians, we've had all kinds of instruments just come in and out of the band, you know, French horns and timpani drums and just all kinds of harps and stuff. And so we're definitely super eclectic with the instruments and also very open to the electrical, the technology side of music as well. You know, we've worked with a DJ. We, you know, all of us are producers ourselves. So we, you know, my setup right here. And so it's extremely exhilarating to get to experiment with all of that sound. It's like painting on the biggest canvas you can create. And the scary part is, you know, my musical mind is pretty, well, it's only gonna get bigger from here. You're gonna see that 100-piece symphony. I'm telling you. You're gonna see a DJ over there. You're gonna be dropping some Dilla classical fusion, bossa nova stuff. I don't know. We just gonna be doing something crazy. But like, it's only the beginning. So yeah, but it's phenomenal working with all these people.
It is, and I'm looking forward to seeing that as I grow, as you grow. I know you're like a big brother to me, even though it's like a lot of people, you know, that I've grew up with. I don't talk to a lot anymore, but we still have. I feel like we have this strong foundation and relationship, and I just
Absolutely.
I thank you for coming on this show. Thank you.
Wouldn't have missed it, dude.
Let Love is available now wherever music is sold. It's out on all platforms, so go get the album right now. It's available right now.
Yes, sir.
And so, with that being said, that's all the time that I have for today. If you would like to view clips from today's show, just head on over to Adu's YouTube channel for more exclusive content. That's me. Also, if you want to stream full episodes, head on over to Castbox.fm or Anchor.fm. Both are available for download on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. And finally, make sure to tune in to The Adu Show, only on YouTube.com. And for everybody else out there.
I forgot to tell them where they can find us, man.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
www.thecontrolchaos.com. Our YouTube is The Control Chaos. Facebook, the same thing, The Control Chaos. That's 2 Ks, not C. Instagram _Control Chaos. Twitter, Control Chaos. Same thing everywhere for the most part. So yeah, that's pretty much where you can find us. Like you said, you can find all of our on any platform where music is sold, and all of our content and videos are on our YouTube channel. And check us out, man. We'd love to have you guys. Spread the evangelism. Love.
Much love to you, dog. Thank you for being on the show. For everybody out there,
No problem, man.
stay cool, live life. We both out.
Yo.